Hi, today's Tuesday Toolbox. I want to talk a little bit about maybe lessons learned as a child. When I was a kid, I experienced my parents as pretty strict. They grew up in the Depression, in the real Depression in the early 1900s, and they had a lot of rules and probably suggestions about how to survive and get along because they were very concerned about that for all of us. But they would give us rules very adamantly and not really explain why. And maybe we all do that with our kids. But as I was talking to my husband about that last week, I was thinking about what we do as leaders when we make rules or set standards or make edicts about how things have to go or what we expect to have happen, and we don't give any background and we don't explain why those are our rules or why they would benefit us. Because I know that I either did what my parents said out of fear or I did it out of resentment. And there were a few times when I might have done it out of, yeah, this is the right thing to do. But I don't think that they did themselves any favors or did me any favors, but not really explaining the why. You know, it was that sort of a because I said so sort of thing. And if we're leading that way, we're not going to have buy-in. We might have compliance. Like I said, I did what my parents said, sometimes out of I didn't want to get into trouble. So we could have compliance. But if we can have engaged employees that understand the why behind the decisions that we're making and the rules that we might have, then they're going to be engaged and they're going to be bought in and they're going to live those rules and enforce those and be part of the team that makes that happen, instead of seeing how they can get away with something or not do what you've asked them to do. So I would ask you to consider this week, are there rules or standards or expectations you've set in your organization or with your people that they don't understand the why behind? And if they did, would they be more bought in? And could you count on them to follow through and carry them out joyfully, willfully, and without you having to overlook? So think about that and think about how that might improve productivity, engagement, morale with your team. Have a great week.